Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Thanks very much for introducing me. And then, my name is Julian, and currently I'm working with Dialog in the Dark, Hong Kong. So Dialog in the Dark, this name first time I heard this name is also a little bit surprising because the word dark, people don't know what's that. And then let me tell you, years ago when we first had our page in Chinese on our website, my friends couldn't access it from within the mainland because the word of dark. Yeah. Okay, and then later we entered China, and then we did very well, and then the government and then people all liked us very much. Okay, so what does Dialog in the Dark do? We provide experiential trainings and entertainment. So by profession, I'm not educator, but since this job, I'm very often involved in talks like for education, and I believe that students and then teachers and parents all like Dialog very much. And basically, we have a exhibition, so-called exhibition, but nothing can be seen with your eyes. It's totally in the dark. People are having like 75 minutes a tour in the dark using all these senses except your eyesight to explore the world, to explore the Hong Kong. And for example, we have like forest parks, a boat trip, and then an old wet market in the street, and then there's a coffee shop also in the dark. All these things will provide people not just to let people to have another thrilling experience since they are bored of ghost room, but it's challenging our sense, our traditional way of perceiving what does it mean to be different. Okay, so after that experience, people got a lot of learnings, but mostly by themselves. We don't really teach. That's why we say our business is a little bit, we call it edutainment. So that's the word education plus entertainment. That's edutainment. Yeah. Okay. So, and also we do another thing is that we provide workshops. That's a very serious workshop to train business leaders. That makes our bread. So that's why we can run the exhibition. The exhibition is not really profiting. But we commit on that because we think this is our social mission. We must do that in order to let people know more about social inclusiveness. Okay, so that's our mission, social inclusiveness toward people with differences. Okay, we promote social inclusiveness toward people with differences. I think this word social inclusiveness is a very key word now, a very often repeated in Hong Kong because for such an international metropolitan place, we have everything now, but in order to be a more friendly, user-friendly, accommodating place, to attract more businesses and more investing and more financial activities to be happening in Hong Kong. This place, Hong Kong, we need people to have more open mind, and then the society to be more inclusive. Okay, but it's a traditional dilemma because social inclusiveness cannot be really taught. It's something from our mind and then exerted with our habit. And behind that, it involves qualities, soft qualities like listening, empathy, your self-confidence in situations of adversity. And then these qualities, let me tell you, are not easily built through telling. So that means they are built better through experience rather than being told. So that's why we are so popular in these years in Hong Kong and also among educators because we thought we tried many ways to tell people about empathy, the needs to communicate, and then a lot of other soft qualities. But we're students and then the general public really have to learn that through encounter. Okay, so let me tell you how we had this idea. Where came this idea? Let people encounter real darkness, and then let people learn and think by themselves. The founder of Dialog in the Dark, his name is Andres Henneke. He's a German guy. He was born when Germany was recovering from the war. We know that the Second World War, within Germany, there was really big issue that Jewish people were being discriminated. Unfortunately or fortunately, Andres, he was born in a family in which his father was so-called Aryan guy, and then his mother was a Jewish mother. So as we can imagine, it wasn't an easy feeling when he was a child, when he heard all those talkings about the relationship between Germans and then the German Jewish people. And then back at home, these talks were really means nothing, and then really sometimes even bothering, because he had his lovely mother, and then the mother was called Jewish outside. So he was growing up with all these things kept controversial in his mind. So when he was at the college, he picked his major in philosophy, and the subject he studied was social inclusiveness. And after graduation, he got a job as a journalist. He was very proud of himself. He thought he was among all those intellectuals in Germany who were doing all their best to write, to think, just to try to bring Germany back into a status of a normal nation. So there involved a lot of talks about social inclusiveness, about real equality between people. But one day he was called by his boss into the boss office, and then he was told that one of their colleagues had just had a car accident, and then he lost his eyesight. The boss of that radio and media company didn't want to fire that guy. He wanted to first try to find a job, anything that he could do within the company. If they couldn't, they wanted to arrange another job for him, so then they could feel easy to say goodbye to the guy. But Andres was called to be the one who followed this case. And that night, Andres was sleepless. He felt very troubled. He felt, I'm someone who is writing big things and meeting big figures, and then I'm going to tell the nation how to be open and inclusive, how to be a normal nation again. But now I have to be a nurse. I have to take care of a blind guy. So he thought about all the bad situations, the terrible situations he have to face, like he have to buy all the food for 1 week, and then go up to the apartment and then clean the apartment and cook all the food, prepare them, leave them in the fridge. So if he couldn't visit that guy for 1 week, he won't starve to death, and all these bad imaginations. So that day came. He went up to the apartment, and he knocked on the door, and the door opened. He saw a handsome guy dressed neatly, and then behind him, a very clean and a tidy apartment. So he said, "Oh, sorry, I got the wrong door. I'm really sorry." So he turned away, and then He closed the door and then he saw the number. Yeah, that's the right number. So what's wrong? Okay, what's wrong? So he knocked the door again and he talked to the guy. He found really that was his colleague. So the rest of the story, you could imagine, this encounter changed his mind totally. So that night he was sleepless again. He asked himself, he said, Andres, you were telling people to be open to people with differences, to build an inclusive society. But see what happened today? All those things you learned and then all those things you told people doesn't work on yourself. So, but he really felt he changed his view and his mind toward people with differences, first with this blind guy. So review what had happened to him. He suddenly got an idea. He said, how about I arrange this encounter in a business way and then make it happen again and again and then let the general public all have such an experience just like me. And then he would even darken the room and then let the guy guide the visitors into the apartment, and then the blind host help people, arrange people to sit and then give you a cup of tea or coffee and then have a chat. That would be really cool. Okay, that's how he started a business. Okay, then let me tell you how I came to love this business. After my graduation from my school, all these years I have never been jobless. So thanks God, I've been very lucky. I got one job after another, and then I was very proud of myself because I was changing the mind of all my colleagues, my friends, wherever I encounter with them, and people were all like, the first time they saw me, they were very nervous. They didn't know how to take care of me, but after couple of days working together or playing together, they will ask themselves, "Oh, what a stupid idea! Why I had to take care of him? You know, it's just walking together and then playing together and then work together." So I felt very proud of myself that I changed a lot of people's minds and I made people feel blindness or other kind of handicapped disability. They are just normal, just one attribute of a person. And one person has many, many other aspects that makes the person a total human being. But the thing that bothered me is I could only change the people around me. Once I walk away from my company, from my home, couple of streets away, I encounter the people in the street. I have to face the same situation again, for many times. For example, I was walking toward a fruit stand, and then I haven't even touched the fruit stand, and the owner of the shop jumped out and then, stop, and I said, what happened? And then he was holding my back and then holding my shoulder, and then he said, you would run into my stand, and then my stand would be turned over by you. Okay, then I said, well, would I be so powerful? But why you hold on to my back and then shoulder? He said, because I fear that you will fall down. I said, you just said I was so powerful, but what happened with my legs? I couldn't stand steady. So I really don't blame. I think just people need some learning, but this learning is not through teaching, because we know most schools today have a lot of teaching about people with differences. But why people still couldn't behave against our habit? Why we cannot adopt this new concept of understanding and social inclusiveness? Okay, that's basically because people really didn't have the opportunity to encounter with the subject they are learning about. So the time I came to know Dial in the Dark, I feel very, very excited. I felt that's the place that I can make my show again and again, and then I can change people's mind. Okay, so then I came to work with Dialog in the Dark. Finally, what happened with our clients, with the visitors and the trainees who've been through Dialog in the Dark? Let me tell you two cases. One case, case number one, 2007, I was making the Dialog in the Dark workshop together with the German team at the World Economy Forum. After one workshop with a lot of big names, I was stopped by a man. He just came out of the dark, and he happened to be the mayor of a big city in the China mainland. He told me, he said, you really changed the policy of my city. I said, what happened? He said, before, I also tried my best to take care of handicapped people, but all those care was designed in order to hide them. So they try to keep handicapped people in a place which is not that much visible, not really in the street, because they thought that would be tarnishing the image of the city. That you go out in the street, you have all these people with different ways of walking, different ways of eating, and so is that very trouble for the image of the city. But he said, today I felt this is a very beautiful scenery. If people can see all people with their different ways of lives, they still enjoy their everyday. They are making their bread. They are making their life and happiness. They enjoy the city. That will be the pride of my city. Okay. Then another case. Just 2 months ago, we got a feedback from a company. They called. They said, "Thank you very much. One of our leader resigned after attending your workshop." I said, "Sorry, we really didn't intend to do that. We didn't persuade people to resign." But they said, "No, that guy, he felt he was doing well with the company, but for many years he felt that he didn't do his best, and then he knew his value was lying in some other things. He wanted to change. He wanted to quit, but he didn't have that courage. But after 2 hours working with people in the dark, he felt he's very confident with his future, with his design to change his life. Then the time he resigned, he told his colleagues, you either do your best with your team, otherwise you look for your next dream. Okay? So the company felt this really good. It really helps the team, and it helps each individual. That's why they called, and then not to complain, but to say thanks to the darkness. Thank you very much.